All right, good morning YouTube. It is Nick with NK Landscaping, again as usual. Chevy's over there making some funny noises. Today we have a big drainage job. It's gonna take the week, so we're gonna get loaded up and ready. We're gonna be bringing the whole fleet of equipment at least. So Fitz is out sick today. I'm not feeling too hot myself. I got a bit of a headache. So it's just me and Kurt. We're gonna get some stuff moved around this morning here. Gotta hook up the gooseneck. So I'm gonna do that now. And let's get moving. So this isn't something that ever gets talked about, but every once in a while, you're gonna need to apply some grease to your balls.
It's very important.
I know. People don't like talking about greasing your balls, but like you can see here, this ball needs to be greased. You can see it's got, that's old grease. I've been slacking. You can see that shiny paint. Oh, that's not even shiny paint, shiny chrome. That ball needs some grease.
Clean your balls before you grease them too.
Yeah, give your balls a wipe down before you grease them. But yeah, no, in all honesty, jokes aside, it's really important to keep your towing ball and coupler greased because you got a lot of weight on there. Sitting, pushing down on it, twisting, pulling. And in this case, like the gooseneck ball is not replaceable. So once it wears out, you either have to have someone cut it off and weld a new one on, or replace your bed, which I don't know why you would do. You just have someone cut it off and replace it. But
you don't want somebody to have to cut off your balls.
Yeah, you don't want someone to cut off your balls. But these are replaceable at least. But keep them greased up. It's really easy to do. So let's get this hooked up. So Kurt's just throwing that last chain up on the Bobcat there. Got the machines all strapped down. I've talked about it before and I'm gonna talk about it again. This Milwaukee M18 blower. I just took the end and I sawed it down so it fits in the truck nice and easy. But every time you load these machines, you make a mess. So this is super handy for blowing off the trailer deck once we load the machines, instead of having, you know, a big gas blower. And then in the truck, I have a regular Milwaukee M18 M12 charger and an inverter. So between jobs, we just charge it, and then, you know, if it really dies, I throw it in the trailer to charge it. But got a nice tight fit here. As always, we got all of our buckets, trenching, digging, ripping, grapple, all sorts of stuff. We're gonna be doing a host of things on this job. We're here on site. The house is right there. Believe it or not, this is Kurt's parents' house. This is where he grew up, and my parents' house is just a couple houses down the street. So yeah, I'll take you back here with the machines. We've worked here before for the previous owners. These are new owners, and they're having some problems. All right, so this is our access side of the driveway. We're able to come through here. It's too tight there, but I'm able to make this sharp turn before that rock cliff.
Truck in after Alex dropped the rock?
Yeah, I'm gonna pull it in. But anyway, so the previous owner of this property, a long time ago, we installed these little patio pads on either side of this deck. So you can see the remnants of that here. They actually used rubber pavers. It was very strange. But anyway, we've got an issue. So this whole property is wet. It's very low lying. It's extremely soft. And all the water from the hill, including my property behind Kurt's parents, flows down here. There's a river on the front side of that grass. There's a river back here. So what happens is this river overflows and flows right into their house and floods their house. So starting about here, the river is pretty deep. So from here over, we're gonna trench everything out. There is a drain box right there with a 6-inch pipe that has failed. So what we're gonna do is take this tree down. We're gonna dig a French drain along the house, send that into the stream with a pipe, and then we're gonna core this stream out quite a bit. And after it's done being cored out, we're gonna install an 8 to 10 inch riprap. So you can see here, we had a 4 to 6 inch riprap, and the volume of water that comes through here, you can see from we had bad rain the other day, it actually overflowed this section and flowed down the lawn here. But this stream is so powerful that there's the flow from that drain grate. It's a 6 inch pipe. It's not flowing very well right now because it's clogged. I should probably open that up. We have a 4 inch pipe that's draining. That was from our patio install years ago. But from the lawn grade to the bottom of that hole, it was almost 4 feet. So that water came in here and chewed all that out, blew it all down the hill, blew the pipe apart. We didn't install the 6 inch pipe. That was a previous contractor years and years and years ago. But we have to clean all this out. This right here is their septic. So that comes up and makes a hard turn and goes kind of right through the center of the blade and the bucket of the excavator. So we need to watch out for that. We put these rocks here when we did our initial dig. But we're gonna make a trench all the way down to the bottom where it ties into the stream that wraps around the front. So that stream that wraps around the front goes all the way from the front of the lawn over and then down this way through the woods and then out over there. So this intermediate stream flows into that here, and it's just, we don't have enough room for the water to flow currently, and that 4 inch riprap just was not enough. So the 8 to 10 should be better. We're gonna put down fabric and everything, but we got a lot of rain over the past weekend and everything. It's just been like non-stop raining, and like record amounts. I think it was 4 or 5 inches of rain. Me and Kurt are gonna get a game plan together. We're waiting for our gravel, and then I can get the truck in here. But it's gonna be an interesting project to say the least. All right, so off camera, I just pulled the grate off of this 6 inch pipe. Now we're getting almost all the flow of this river into that 6 inch pipe. So that should dry this area up a little bit. Thing was just loaded, absolutely loaded with leaves. You can see that's working pretty well now. So that'll take away a lot of our water right now and hopefully dry this area down, because everything from here forward won't have flowing water through it. This bush has got to come out and this tree's got to come out. So that's probably what we're going to focus on first and worry about all the drainage stuff after we get some of this water out of here. Our riprap has showed up. So hopefully he can back straight down the driveway, dump it in this area. Now that's gonna block our access in and out, which kind of stinks, but he can't dump it there because we got power lines. So probably just gonna go right there. Alright, there is load number 1. We had to split it in 2 piles on the driveway because of the power lines. I am in a mad rush now to get the excavator over here and move that out of the way. Hey Kurt, can you move the skid steer for me?
Yeah.
I'm gonna move the excavator over there so I can get that moved so he can dump the second load. So let's do it. load number 1 has been successfully moved out of the way, ready for our second load. Just kind of had to drive the machine on top of that. Small casualty, this corner of the driveway broke, but you can see this is an addition. I don't know what paving company would come out and do a 1 foot addition, but you can see the old driveway ended and then they paved an additional piece off, so it's not really too bad. But regardless, this is now back here and we're just gonna wait for the second load, get that dumped. Probably just gonna end up leaving it where he dumps it. But yeah, scooping 8 to 10 inch, because you know, basically you've got stuff down as small as a little 3-4 inch piece all the way up to there's some chunky boulders in there that are probably 14 inches. There's one big one over there, so it's always fun scooping that with a little 3-ton machine. Let me give you a quick update here on what we're doing. So basically, we have the water flowing into that existing 6-inch pipe. We repaired it on down as far as we had, you know, leftover pipe scraps, and that is taking the majority of the water out of here. You can just see it blasting out of there at the bottom. The way that this property was done, so I think the property line is right there on that rock wall, and we don't want to go too close to that. There's this other decorative stone rock wall in the way that we are removing now. So I'm basically slowly coring out our base drain trench, taking these rocks out. There's a big ledge rock there. There's a big one there that I pulled out. We're gonna get this pushed over that way. We don't want to push into their yard anymore like it was doing, because right behind Kurt on the left by those big boulders, is the septic. So we want to push everything over to our left and start excavating out. I want to get a good base set for our trench. I'm going to need to do some fill work back in here, depending on what kind of soil comes out of here. Now it's just getting rid of the big rocks. We are stockpiling those to the side because if I need to, you know, use those to armor down there later, we'll use that. But I basically want to go through here, strip out all these big rocks so we can go in there and do our main dig, and figure out exactly where that trench has to be. The trench has to be. We also need to take that tree down, but I want to make it as easy to work in there as possible. So. the other side of the stream now. You've probably seen a good chunk of this on time lapse. I know the battery's dead over there. I don't see the camera flashing anymore. But believe it or not, I was able to get both of those. Well, we didn't know it was two, but there were two large boulders right in that spot. So I was somehow able to get those up and out of there. And now we're coring through this area. So our goal is a 6 foot wide drain swale to go through here, about 2 feet deep. So I've got it in here, that I'm at a good depth, but up higher, I'm definitely not at that depth yet. And the reason I didn't hit that depth is because of that pipe. I wanted to make sure that I wasn't going to rip that out of there while I was digging, especially because I was digging from the other side, and I couldn't see it. So we're going to go ahead and keep on coring through here. Our trench is probably going to stop somewhere where Kurt is, so I'm going to have to pull these big boulders back. You can see, I mean, that's a 2 foot bucket, and those are the boulders. You can see Kurt next to them. They're massive. That one, the one by Kurt, is almost 6 feet tall, 18 inches thick. So yeah, we're gonna do what we can do to core this out a little more. It is nearly impossible digging. These boulders are massive. I'm just doing what I can. There's not a whole lot of dirt in here to grade out. Right above, right there, that's where the rock was. There's a nice little island of dirt. Well, who knows how much dirt's in there, but I'm gonna spread that around in here to kind of fill and shape everything. So I've now switched sides. So I'm gonna fill in, that was where the big section of rock was, and then there was another one right here. So I'm gonna even that out, and then I think I'm gonna work my way upstream and kind of core that out a little more. That right side definitely needs to be brought down. Like I said, the goal is to stay away from that pipe, because hopefully we might be able to leave it in place. We'll see. So it's looking good down there. I mean, it looks like a mess, but the process is moving along. So let's shape this up, keep going back upstream. We're getting ready to go home. This is our pile of junk. Quite a bit of stuff, including this massive boulder that came out. But you can see over here, our pipe is just absolutely shooting the water out. And that's good. We're getting this flow. I'm trying to lower the water table here a bit. What we're thinking about doing, this pipe is going to come out. That's what we originally estimated for. Point being, the reason for that, I mean, is what happened to cause all this erosion originally. We got a big rainstorm, so we got a lot of flow on top of the pipe here. It took away and eroded the top layer of riprap that was already in here. And whoever installed this pipe didn't fasten it together at all. You can glue these pipes. We screw them. I like more of a mechanical, hold together. I don't find that the glue works so good on these triple wall pipes. And what happened was these pipes were not installed correctly. The bell end was installed down. So you can actually see that in effect right here. So normally you have the smaller portion of the pipe slip into the bell end. This is the larger end. So what that does is there's no lip for the water to catch on the inside of the pipe. This is what happens when you have a scenario like that. This is the larger bell end going over the factory size of the pipe, and we've got all this water leaking out here. And that happened plus you had water running on top of that pipe. It caused that pipe to separate, and when that pipe separated, yeah, it separated right there, you had a full 6-inch pipe's worth of water dumping, and it blew everything out below that, because you can see the force of the water that comes out of this 6-inch pipe, and that was basically just eroding what was under the pipe, and then all the water that was streaming down on top of that. It did a real number on all this. So this is gonna get taken out, so probably we're gonna cap it right there by the excavator, and then we're gonna take out the basin and cap it there, so this pipe can never flow again, so we don't have this situation. And then you can kind of see the general shape of what we're going for: a 6-inch wide swale, or whatever riverbed you want to call it. I still gotta, there's a big rock here I'm gonna attempt to take out. Tree's gotta come out, but we have this drained down. The river is completely flowing into the 6-inch pipe, so that's getting its way out of here, and all the water flowing in here. Kurt dug a trench from the front lawn, and that's just runoff. So we're gonna hope that overnight, this whole week is supposed to be dry, which is great for October. It's awesome, no rain. We're hoping that that lowers the water table a little bit in the front yard, so we can work a little easier in there, throw our French drain in. Tomorrow we're gonna work on a little bit deeper here, maybe 6 to 8 inches deeper. We're gonna get our geotextile fabric, lay that down. I have to fill in this section. You'll see that tomorrow. I'm not gonna bore you with talking about it now. So we're gonna get out of here, and we'll see you in the morning.